books. I am so bad. So bad. I am supposed to be not buying books because I have so many books. And I'm trying to read through them right now to get rid of a few. But there are stories behind this. Books! Books! This is my January. Ha ha ha! It's a whole new year already. My April book haul. What happened is I was at the library the other day looking for The Forest of Hands and Teeth because I kept seeing it all over the internet and I wanted to read it. And I've never read any post-apocalyptic books. I think I own one and it's about nuclear war. And while I was there, they have a perpetual sale that goes on at my library to raise money, and I saw this on the shelf, which isn't that kind of pretty? The Gate Thief by Orson Scott Card. And I like Orson Scott Card's works, but it's so hard to get hardbacks for a good price. This only cost me $3. And when I bought it, I didn't realize it's a sequel to a book I already own. So now I own 2 books in the sequel, but I haven't read the first one yet. So I got this at the library. And then I went to Walmart and got A Game of Thrones. I've been seeing this all over the place, and I thought when I saw the commercials for it on the TV, I thought it was just a historical book, but turns out it's more of a fantasy. Does it say fantasy? It does not say fantasy. It just says best-selling author. But from what I've been hearing, it's a fantasy book, so I figured I'd give it a try, see what everybody's raving about. Now, these other 5. These 5 sinful books. Really. I was at my local Albertsons today, and their bargain book bin is currently, lost their seat, is currently having a sale. So basically I spent $1 on this one, and the rest of them cost me $1.66 a piece. That's hardbacks for $1.66 a piece. So I picked up a few. This one is called, and I've never heard of this author, but it's called Undead and Unsure, and it's an adult book by Mary Janice Davidson. So if any of y'all have actually read this or anything by her, let me know what you think of her, because I've never even heard of her. But when I saw Undead, I picked it up and I looked at the cover, and apparently this is about Vampire Queen Betsy, don't call me Elizabeth, Taylor is back. So it's about vampires. Had to get it. So let's see. Apparently she went on a trip to hell. It says it's no surprise to Betsy that her trip to hell with her sister Laura landed them in hot water. Betsy isn't exactly sorry to have killed the devil, but it's put Laura in a damnable position. Forced to assume the role of Satan, she may not have the training, but she looks great in red, and in charge of billions of souls now that she's moved up in the world, or is that down? So it sounds like this is probably a book in a series. Yes, it is. The last in a book of series of several. But if I like this one, I'll start the whole series over again. And then I got this one. This was cover by. And I picked it up because of the cover. It says it's The Book of Mortals, Sovereign by Ted Decker and Tosca Lee. I'll have to pull that sticker off. I'm not 100% sure what it's about, but that cover for $1.66, I had to. It says, 9 years after Ron Sebastian was thrust into the most unlikely of circumstances, as hero and bearer of an unimaginable secret, the alliance of his followers is in disarray. An epic battle with the Order has left them scattered and deeply divided in strategy and resolve in their struggle to become truly alive and free. No idea, but I put it in my to be read jar, a jar, and we'll see what happens. The other one I got was J.R. Ward's Rapture, a novel of fallen angels. I didn't actually read the inside of it, but Fallen Angels, I've seen a couple of hauls with this book in it. It sounds like it might be interested, so Fallen Angels. Next one I got is by an author I actually have heard of. I've read some of her other works, but not under this pen name, because this author has like 4 or 5 pen names. It's Amanda Quick, Crystal Gardens. When I read the cover, it's about a novelist who lives by some crystal gardens, and she keeps sneaking into the gardens because the magic draws her or something, and somebody comes after her to kill her, and she runs into the garden, and the owner of the garden saves her life, because even though he doesn't really want trespassers, he can't help but be drawn to her. I do believe this might be paranormal romance of sorts, you know, one of those otherworldly ones. Let's see. Yeah, because it says she's fascinated by the paranormal energy of Crystal Gardens. Now, this is a pen name, another pen name for an author named Jayne Ann Krentz, which I haven't read any of her works under Krentz, but she does works under Jane Castle, which I read all the time. So I figured I'd give this pen name a try, and it was only $1.66. And the last book I got, which is, if I'm not mistaken, probably the newest in its series. I do own the first 2. Yeah, it's the newest one. It's Patricia Briggs' Frostburned. And this is just the latest in the Mercy Thompson series, which, if you haven't heard of it or read the books, she is a shapeshifter. Not a werewolf. She's a Native American, they call them skinwalkers, and her form tends to be of a fox. And she lives in a world, she's a mechanic, and she lives in a world where the paranormal is currently coming out. In the very first book, I don't remember the name of it. I read it here not too long ago. Moon-Called. In the first book, Moon-Called, the fair folk fairies have already come out, and the werewolves are thinking about coming out. She happens to live next door to the local leader of the werewolves. I haven't read the second one. I own it, but I haven't read it. And then I own one way in the series, like in the middle of the series. But hardback for $1.66, I just had to, because when am I ever going to get a chance to get the hardback version again? So that was my book haul for April, which I really shouldn't have bought any, but I did, and they will go onto my shelves to be read in the future, along with all the other books that I'm currently trying to read through. If you've read any of these books, if you're familiar with any of these authors, let me know in the comments below and tell me what you thought of them. If you like this video, thumbs it up.